Oh, okay. We are on Aimi's app, and it is RReburst and Oki versus the roster of the Bozos, which actually has I on their team. The letter I is one of the main roster players of the Bozo bunch, so joined by Molle and Droplet, that team will be great. And of course, they will ban the Kazan and the Rasmus ban on the other side, so we'll see a little bit less damage than usual, but I do predict a lot of brawling coming out, especially with that Luna goalie on Aimi's app. Definitely a map where the Luna goalie is feeling a little bit safer, especially if Fierryy and Oki can somehow keep the core in their side of the field. But as we see, this brawling is going to get out of hand.
And you can see the Atlas pick getting ready for the carnage. Fierry's characteristic Juliet and Oki on that X that players have feared for a long time. Hopefully we'll see those players come out with some kind of crazy hip new strategy to prevent themselves from getting KO'd, but this is going to be a classic game of very hectic core striking.
Yeah, but Molle and Droplet already get the barrier. Oki goes for one, but takes a lot of damage from the expanse in return, hits it behind the barrier, unable to get it past, and Molle with the glitch pop barely sneaks it past the Luna goalie of RReburst. The first goal goes to the Bozos, and they're going to need to keep scoring like this if they don't want to die.
Now this is hilarious. It was a prize fighter 1-2 punch start. The entire team of Beat Them Up chose prize fighter, and the entire team of the BOZO variety pack chose 1-2 punch. That's why you saw that expanse do so much damage, was because it was comboed. And that's why we're seeing already Droplet getting a little bit of a beating. That's going to be taken off the map, Saya.
Yeah, letter I unfortunately unable to clear it behind, but RReburst getting a bit of a dash clear. Now sending it down. Oki already putting damage onto the letter I, losing so much health so fast. Oki up to the top corner, has flip already. Fierry's meter is near full as well. And just so much pressure, so much core control being coming out from the Brawlers. But as I say that, Droplet with the reversal onto Fierryy. Striker advantage for the side of the Bozos. And now Droplet dribbling up. RReburst does have flip. Droplet has to be so careful. Here's Oki own barriers with the slowest spin that I've ever seen. And that could be critical as the barriers are open. Molle goes for the kill on Oki, erasing those prize fighter stacks. Fierryy in position. RReburst sends it around, but cannot get it around the letter I. Molle and Droplet now in a 2v1 situation, and Droplet will calmly strike it into the bottom side. This is the type of gameplay we want to see from the Bozos. You got to stay alive. You got to erase those stacks with that 1-2 punch.
There were 3 players at one point that all had cracked stagger bars, and I think one player was down at that point as well. This is going to be a bloody battle, but if they can just maintain their composure, I think that they can get through this, as well as helping and make sure that Droplet has the opportunity to find those KOs. Oki doesn't find quite what he wanted to with that Maximus, but the KO, and it's going to be the reversal. This is BOZO Variety Pack's chance to clearly get the lead in this set.
Yeah, and right now the passing plays are immaculate. Down to Droplet, the follow-up with the bell ringer as well. The BOZO Variety Pack take it 3-0, and they're looking very, very clean. You called out that strike war from the letter I against Oki, and that defensive play was just ridiculous.
That was insane. It was actually ridiculous. And my goodness, the Chrono Boost pickup from X means that X Maximus is going to last so much longer for Droplet. Primetime getting picked up because it is Primetime Tuesday, Rapid Fire Edition. Shouts to Vodible. Homie's been going through it, but we love him. We appreciate him. He's been putting in the work behind the scenes. And unfortunately, this X is not going to get much on the side of Beat Them Up.
Yeah, but there's a bit of an upside. Picking Aimi here into this basically triple damage comp. None of those contest the creations of the Aimi, and that is the timeless Firewall Sentry going in to support Droplet, who sends it away, unable to get the barrier for the moment as Molly's taking so much damage. Healing coming out, attempted revive by the letter I. Defense will come through as Molle goes down. RReburst and Fierryy now pushing up, trying to get it past Droplet, but a clear up will save the barrier for now. The letter I still clearing it away, and Magic, they're holding.
They are holding, and this is what we need to see from the Bozos, the Jabronis. They can do this if they could just hang on a little bit longer, but that's Fierryy lining up perfectly with RReburst special, and that's a very good opportunity, but because Molly took that power play and reversed it, and now Dropletto's coming back up, and this is another opportunity for the BOZO bunch to score and keep their lead moving. But Oki decides, no, it's my turn.
Oh, and Fierryy catches the dribble as well, gets the prize fighter stack. That is 3 prize fighter stacks for Fierryy. Now, what awareness on the bounce off of the goal gate opening. And if they start snowballing, prize fighter is a very fickle awakening. If they can get 3 stacks, then I don't think the BOZOs can survive.
I don't think they will either. This is exactly the situation that you don't want to see. Like I said in the last set, once a Juliet starts going, it is so dang hard to stop, and that's why they're trying to shut down Fierryy, Dropletto, and Molly, trying to put as much damage as they can into Fierryy. Stagger bar is going low, but not low enough, because that presence is still on the map. That KO potential is scary, and even though that ultimate went up, it seems like the reversal came through. I don't even know what happened to Dropletto.
Yeah, and RReburst this time getting the better of the core flip war here, but Molly is setting up in the corner looking for a glitch pop up. Dropletto pass, but RReburst manages to defend for the moment, wins the strike war as well, buying enough time for Oki to come down on the defense. Now Molly and Dropletto in another strike war situation, sent back by the glitch pop, but yet again RReburst holds. Fierryy is back, and now it's Fierryy in a 1v1 with the letter I, but it's no longer a 1v1 as RReburst flies across the map.
What awareness from Fierryy. As soon as he came back online, immediately struck and was able to help clear that away, and then perfectly placing it for RReburst, who saw the opportunity and took it to the bank. And this is what Beat Them Up needs, is that momentum switching into their favor.
Yeah, and now it is the BOZOs who have to make it happen, but right now Beating them up is just scaling. They are not the ones being consistently KO'd. They are still maintaining those 2 prize fighter stacks across the board. More than enough power to be a menace here as Dropletto hits it back and forth into Fierryy a few too many times. Fierryy punishing, RReburst getting it through to Oki. So many strikes go in, and the hit stun onto the letter I is enough to zone them away from the core as the set is quickly responded to by Beat Them Up.
There's a term, and I'm sure most fans of Omega Strikers have heard it, and that is called Okiing, and that is exactly why this player will sit on your goal line. It will make sure that your life is very frustrating as a goalie. That is why they've named it after him. The Orb Replicator going on to the letter I, which I'm not exactly certain that was the right play, considering Cass was up there. Tempo swing goes to the X at this point. This is a very favorable draft for the members of Beat Them Up.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of hoping to orb scale later because the letter I is the one that isn't being KO'd so far, but they just gave everything over to Beat Them Up. They are so powerful at the moment. Fierryy with the big fish, Oki with the castle last, but it is Dropletto right now who is staying alive in the field, 1v2ing RReburst and Oki for the moment, but the core has to be let out here. They managed to do so. RReburst is KO'd. Dropletto is zoning so hard. The turret of Molly gets the KO as well. And now it's a quick 1 pass, not even a pass required, just a shot. And BOZO Variety Pack have just erased the prize fighter stacks from RReburst and 1 from Fierryy.
No way. That is how you open a set against some prize fighter players. That is the kind of counterplay that you need to work around. And speaking of counterplay, what do you do if you're RReburst there? Finally, the Luna in the goal, getting shown why she is very small and very fragile.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Dropletto does have cast the last chrono boost and is just sitting on top of both Oki and RReburst. So much fighting going on. The healing will need to be had as well, but no elusive comes out. Molly in a 1v1 takes the barrier solo, and now as long as the letter I can hold for a moment, Notes goes for the flip and takes it themselves.
That Atlas got wings. Drank some Red Bull. Decided to fly all the way up with that Egoist. That pickup earlier, making an appearance and securing that set for the BOZO Variety Pack. And the Aimee getting the MVP means that this build different can be taken away from X, but what will they pick? The Deadeye.
Yeah, the Deadeye does make a lot of sense. You don't want that dropping down to the RReburst Luna at the very end. Ponder being taken up does allow the build different double size on Fierryy to be taken. But you see the Bozos. They are fully focused on not letting RReburst play the game. Twin Drive and Deadeye taken away. Ponderer, Replicator for the letter I. This could be their set.
This could be their set if they can just put it away right now. And like we said earlier, KO them now. Do not let them scale even once. Try and dump as much damage as you can to remove those prize fighter stacks. But that's a prize fighter stack going over to Oki. The core flip comes through but does not land. Molly might have a chance to actually score this if everything goes according to plan. But no, I with a beautiful save, Saya.
He had letter I holding on despite everything, but the final rocket, no, still cleared away. This midfield player flexes to goalie and still makes it happen. And now it is Molly using the glitch pop to self-pass. RReburst does have flip, redirected away by Molly. Fierryy in position though. The flip comes out from RReburst. It is still blocked by the letter I. How do they do it? As Droplet and Molly have pressure, but they still do not have a goal. Fierryy still sending it away. The danger is still there as the flip is wasted from Dropletto. The letter I has to be so careful here. RReburst is back. Oki in position as well. And despite the heroics from I, the Bozos cannot hold on.
That was an insane play, knowing exactly when the energy burst shot would land and precisely stuffing it. That is the kind of level that you see from an experienced goalie, not from a midfielder. Speaking of midfielder, that X is no longer in the middle of the field, Saya. This is going to be so tough to deal with if you're on the side of the Bozo bunch.
Yeah, the Bozo variety pack not looking too good right now, especially because Beat Them Up has fully scaled the prize fighter 2-3-3 stacks on the team, and that is just so much damage. Molly being basically instantly taken out, barely gets out of there with the cyber swipe, but now it is I and Droplet who are being taken out, and I think this set is a bit of a write-off. Let's go to set 5.
Yeah, that might be what they're thinking. As you see Molly just sitting there in the midfield trying to do something with that turret, but that is Droplet once again getting KO'd. The X not surviving, not being exceptional, not being excessive, and that is 3-0 for Beat Them Up. All in all, they need to find something here to absolutely continue their scaling. On the other side, like, they had the chance to try and find something. Molly can maybe increase the damage, but that's a catalyst going over to the Juliet.
Yeah, they'll have to settle for the double orb replicator, which is still good, but they need to figure out something in the first set, not in the later ones, because it just becomes too overwhelming. In its perfect form being taken by Oki as well. It's just so much that's coming down. If the Bozos can hold on in that very first point, this could be theirs. They can scale up the orbs, 4 orbs on the side of the letter I, but if the KOs come through for Beat Them Up, it will be very one-sided.
That's the immediate goal barrier. Molly trying to find the interception, but doesn't manage to get through. Dropletto able to use the X Maximus to at least keep this hope alive. And I needs to win this strike war, and does. Oki not able to find it. Dropletto perfectly placing that bell ringer to send RReburst to the back of the net and let Molly's shot go through. This is the opportunity that the Bozo Bunch needs.
Yeah, that was a huge point. They are now ahead. The prize fighter stack is off from RReburst. That is so much less damage from the Luna, and Molly has proven to be that force in the offense. As long as they can stay alive, though, the health bar is looking low. The rocket does send the core the other way as well. And once again, those hotshot rockets are a little scary on the other side, but letter I managed to defend all of it. Dropletto is in the midst of everything, defended away by Fierryy, but RReburst falls again. And now it is Oki and Fierryy. They have to play goalie, but they managed to get a KO out of all of it. Their prize fighter stacks jump to 2. And now it's getting a little bit dangerous. It is still defended away, but Oki manages to get the barrier. As long as the letter I survives, I think it is still fine for them. If those orb stacks get erased, all hope is lost, but so far they still have insurance. The goal is pocketed by Oki in the top corner, evening it up 1-1. 7 orb stacks, that timer's ticking.
The timers are ticking for both of these teams. Which team can get the stacks first? Which team can level up their play first? That was a beautiful coordination of abilities and everything. And we're seeing it once again. The Imi turret on top of Droplet using the X Maximus to up every bit of damage that they can get. And that Fierryy is not going to get KO'd from it. I not being able to stop this gold barrier is flying too far away because I was up all the way in the top trying to clear from the other side, and now Oki's gonna do his thing. I not able to get the stop. Oh, the Celestial expansion not able to find, and it's the match point.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the BOZO variety pack. It would be fine if it was a long round, but it was a relatively short one. Only 8 orbs here for I, not hitting that critical 10 mark yet. They have to defend, but that turret only helps the offense of beat them up, but they manage to get the core out of the side of the field. It goes right back. Oki and Fierryy are in position. A clear has to be found by I. Droplet sending it through with the flip, with the barrier as well, and I gets Oki off. Barely manages to clear it once again. Still wins the strike war. Molle staggered, but it doesn't matter for the moment as the healing comes through. The revive comes through on Droplet as well. The barrier falls, but Molle is in position. KO's RReburst yet again has the flip, and it's all evened up. Set 5.5.
Return, like, absolutely repenting for their old sins. Molle able to use that Imi turret to precisely land on RReburst and force them into an unwinnable KO situation. But speaking of unwinnable, how are you supposed to defend yourself from that? I trying to keep this goal from going up, but that goal barrier is going down. Oki's not able to find this match yet. The ultimate doesn't come up in time, but Oki is able to save it.
But it is still not enough as RReburst gets a perfect angle on the boost. Sends it around the world, sneaks it into the goal, and 10 orb stacks were strong, but they weren't enough to get past the prize fighter damage as beat them up beats up the entirety of the BOZOs.
What a match. I need to go to bed. There's too much happening. There's too much chaos, too many KOs, too many saves. I did such a good job. They're a midfielder. They're a midfielder. They had the most redirects in that game and insane number of saves on that map. But it just wasn't enough to deal with 14 KOs from the other side.
Yeah, it was such a small margin too.
Mm-hmm.
One KO could just completely swing everything in terms of stacks, because one KO on the BOZOs mean the 2 brawlers of beat them up just get 1 stack each. That's 20 power per. Such a wild swing in terms of damage. And at the very end, if the BOZOs could have held on for a little bit longer, gotten that orb power to overwhelm RReburst on the offense, it could have gone a different way. But beat them up just played a little better at the very start of that round and just completely snowballed it.
And played a little better, and they won a little more. I think that at the end of the day, that's a motto we can all get behind. All in all, that was some incredible play from both teams. Neither of these teams should be upset about that, upset about this set, upset about their play in tonight's tournament. But one team moves forward, and that's beat them up. All in all, this next stage of the bracket is looking to be even crazier, which is impressive to say the least. But I believe we're going to be going to a break. Thank you so much for joining us.